great way to finish. That must have felt really good to finish off the Brier that way.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of fans here, and it just felt really good to get another win for them.
Talk about the first go-around with this event. I imagine you know, having seen it on TV a few times, you think you have expectations, but experiencing the real thing, what was that like?
Yeah, I thought I knew coming in what it would be like, but those first few games definitely felt like a fish out of water myself, to be honest. Felt a lot more comfortable there towards the end of the week here. Hope to be back someday. It'll be a lot more comfortable.
I think it's fair to say we did not see this team at its best over the first couple of days. Was it just getting used to ice, rocks, the environment?
I think just the environment as a whole, it's a lot different than playing in a curling club. The sights, the sounds, the depth perception with all the space around the sheets. Mm-hmm. So you saw us at our best and at our worst, which are a bit of a roller coaster week.
So what are your takeaways, other than you really want to get back here at some point?
A lot of really good takeaways. We've seen the top teams. We played against the top teams. Now we know the shots and the precision that we need to compete against the best.
Imagine you guys will be throwing a lot in the next year to get back to this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. We really want to make it here for our first, and now I don't think the itch has been scratched. We're going to be looking to come back some more.
Jayden, what does it mean to you to be a playoff team here?
Oh, it means everything. This is a dream come true. We put ourselves against the wall a couple days ago when we had a couple of tough games, and then we had to battle back last night against Quebec, and then today we came out again and did the same thing. So it's really nice to see our hard work coming through today.
Now, you are, how do you like your position going into playoffs? You're going to be playing some heavyweights. You might be one of the more unheralded teams going into the playoffs. Can that work for you?
Yeah, it can definitely work for us. We like kind of having our backs against the wall and being the Cinderella story of the event. And the pressure's on them right now. There's not really any pressure on us. We're just going out there and throwing the rocks, and hopefully they end up in good spots.
What kind of arc do you think that your team has traveled from the very first draw you played to now? Can you describe like what's happened to this team?
Oh, exponential. This has been a key learning moment for us and hopefully pivotal in our careers. We've had some good conversations, some hard conversations, some good lessons, some hard lessons. And it's just really led to us being a much more cohesive unit and a much better team out there.
And what got you through the tough parts? Because there's always going to be them, right?
Yeah, friendship. You know, when you're friends with the people you're playing with, it's a lot easier to say, hey, I'm wrong, or hey, I want to help you out. And at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to. And it just happens to also make us better curlers. When you come together as a team, you really can't win with just individuals out there. You do have to be a team.
You got 24 hours plus to think about tomorrow. How are you going to spend those 24 hours?
Yeah, we'll enjoy the win for a couple hours, and then we'll regroup. And we'll come back tonight. We'll have a practice, and then tomorrow night we'll wake up and we'll do the same routine that we did today, and just put ourselves in the best place to come back here tomorrow and be competitive and put a good game together and hopefully win.
Félicitations, tu as bien réussi ton dernier match. C'était spécial, non?
In French?
Eh oui.
Oui, okay. Ben oui, dernier match. On savait qu'on ne contrôlait pas nécessairement notre destin. Il fallait que l'équipe de l'Ontario perde. C'est pas arrivé, mais on voulait finir ça en beauté. 5 victoires, 3 défaites. Il n'y a pas de quoi avoir honte. C'est un petit peu en delà de ce qu'on s'attendait, de ce qu'on espérait. Mais finir ça avec une victoire, c'est spécial.
C'était tellement proche aussi. Y a-t-il des sentiments qui existent avec ça?
Oui, les sentiments vont venir dans les prochaines heures, j'imagine. Sur la glace, on était concentrés, essayer de finir ça en beauté puis d'avoir un bon souvenir. Puis je suis pas mal fier des gars. On a vraiment joué une bonne game de curling.
Avez-vous des souvenirs de votre carrière qui sont présents?
Oui, c'est sûr. Ça fait 15 ans que je joue avec Jean-Michel, plus 6-7 ans avec Jeff. Fait que c'est certain que c'est un peu émotif présentement. On finit sur une bonne note. C'est ça qui est bon pour nous autres. On a bien représenté le Québec. Puis je suis fier de ce qu'on a fait cette semaine.
Mais c'est toujours spécial de porter les Bleus de la belle province, oui?
Oui, effectivement, c'est une fierté pour nous autres à chaque année qu'on réussit à gagner. Autant les provinciales, c'est émotif quand on gagne, on est tellement fiers de venir ici. Avec l'atmosphère cette année à Saint John, c'est hallucinant. Ça fait partie des événements qu'on va se rappeler puis qu'on va avoir un petit mojo dans les années qui s'en viennent.
Comme tu viens de jouer à un niveau exceptionnel dans votre carrière en total, c'est quoi la prochaine destination pour vous autres dans votre carrière de curling en général?
Écoute, on a déjà eu une discussion. Moi, Martin, on arrête la compétition parce qu'on veut passer un peu plus de temps en famille. Mais le curling, ça reste un sport qu'on adore. On adore la game, on adore se voir pour les événements. Fait on risque de continuer à faire des petits événements à gauche, à droite pour prendre le temps de faire une coupe de shots de curling, puis de prendre une coupe de consommation aussi, puis des bons soupers entre amis. Fait que ça, on va continuer à le faire. Fait que 2-3 petits tournois. On va rester dans l'entourage du curling, ça c'est sûr. Pour ce qui est de moi, Martin. Je pense que Jean-Michel, il y a d'autres plans, lui.
Oui, moi, je suis un peu plus vieux, donc je vais avoir 50. Donc, la semaine prochaine, j'ai le championnat provincial senior. Donc, je pars d'ici, puis je m'en vais au provincial senior. Puis ça va être ça pour moi pour les prochaines années. Moi, je vais curling senior. Je suis chanceux, j'ai une bonne équipe, des bons joueurs, mais c'est un petit peu moins demandant en termes de temps et tout ça. Donc, ça va. C'est ce qui va bien avec où je suis rendu dans ma vie.
Parfait. Puis, plus tôt dans la semaine, Brad Gushue disait que toi, vous êtes un vrai gentleman of the game. Penses-tu que c'est vrai ou non?
Bon, ça, c'est ça, c'est pas à moi de dire si je le sais ou pas, mais un beau compliment de même venant de Brad, c'est sûr que ça touche au cœur.
Great effort out there, despite the loss.
Yeah, no, it was. It was perfect game to lose. We're still in the Bondsfield. No big deal. Just got to play a little bit better than that, that's all. Yeah. Those guys played great, too. They played awesome. That's probably, we've had their number a lot in the last couple of years here, and I think that's the best we've seen them play. So that's good for their fans. It's good for them.
You're 4-1 against them coming into tonight's game, and just, those things happen, right? Like you said yesterday, you're human.
Yeah.
Does it feel like there's still another gear that you can find?
There's much more in terms of gears for this team, for sure. I'd say that we're preserving a little bit for the weekend. It's nice now that we get the evening off and the morning off, and we can come out, hopefully refreshed and ready to go for tomorrow's game.
Do you hope that what we just saw now is a preview of the final?
There's so many games that need to be played between now and the final. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Do I hope it's a preview of the final? That's not up to me. I don't really care. I don't really care. I don't have a preference. The reality is I'm focused on our team and us doing everything we can to make it into the final. That's a better question for the Newfoundland fans. Fun crowd, yeah. They're very loud. It's very loud when they get going. So it is fun, absolutely.
How much does that play a factor, or does it?
For our team, it doesn't play a factor. I mean, we're just still trying to go about our business and make our shots. So yeah, that doesn't play a factor. I think if anything, it plays a factor for them, and keeping them fired up throughout the game and keeping them motivated. When you have such a large, loud hometown crowd behind you, that's going to help you in every single game. So I'll be interested to see how teams from the other pool handle that crowd, because we've had to deal with it all week, which is I think is good for us, just because we're used to it.
Yeah, we were asking young Jayden King about that. Was it an advantage to play in the game this week?
I think it was for the crowd, for sure. I was thinking about that during the game, actually. Our last two round-robin games set us up really well to understand what the environment and the atmosphere was going to be like in the playoffs. So that's probably the best thing that we can take away from those last two games.
Did you feel like turning to the crowd and yelling, "Are you not entertained?" at any point, like in Gladiator?
Yeah, no. I mean, there was plenty of entertainment going on for them, and it was a good game. Hey, what can I say? It was a good battle. They got the hammer on us. We just both kind of exchanged ones back and forth. They got that deuce and 9. They played a good end. We didn't have, really good angles from the beginning. We were trying to create it, but just fell short. And, they beat us. It happens. All good.
Yeah, we heard that, I think it was 9, that jammed all day. You said too late, do it anyway?
Too late, yeah. You know what? Here's the reality for our team. We're either going to win this week, and we're going to go home, and we're going to be excited to be home. Or we're going to lose this week, and we're going to go home, and we're going to be excited to be home. And I'm good with either one. Just going to play loose and try to make shots and have fun. We'll see how it goes.
How are you guys feeling? We're going to ask you that every day.
I don't know. We're feeling fine. Feeling good enough to win. That's all that matters. Yep.
Brad, I know yesterday you're saying you're basically playing for hammer, but it sure felt like you were playing for a heck of a lot more out there.
Well, you had 6,000 people there to put on a good show, and it felt intensity of a playoff game, at least from our standpoint. Obviously, I know Team Jacobs are probably pretty tired from the last number of weeks, but from our standpoint, it was 100% game. We wanted to show our best out there today. I thought we played a very good game and controlled it from start to finish. Never felt like we were in control, but it was a good game. I think textbook. We had the even ends. We never gave up the lead. So overall, a pretty good performance.
Brad, you talked about before this started, you wanted to find the balance. Some people were telling you to enjoy the moment, smell the roses, but you also wanted to compete well.
Yeah.
But is it impossible to have that balance in a game like that? Like, can you really smell the roses at all?
It's tough. It's tough. I tried to take a couple moments there, but then my just mentality, I came back to trying to get in the zone. And when it was all said and done, I just stood by the boards, and they were playing the Islander out there, and I just kind of looked around, and that was pretty cool. I got a little emotional, but during the game, I never left that zone, so I didn't do a good job of it during the game. I got to think that's probably going to be expected from here on out. I've never smelt the roses in my life, so at least when I'm on the ice. So why expect that to change now? But certainly during the down times, I think it's important to take those moments.
You look like young Brad out there tonight. How much do you have left in the tank going into playoff weekend?
I don't feel like young Brad. I played like young Brad. I don't feel like young Brad, but heck of a game. I love the ice. I love where it's at right now. That sharpness and the grittiness in the rocks is gone from when they textured it on, I guess it was probably Tuesday. Really good surface. I love the speed. I love the amount of curls. So, I think that's beneficial for us going forward if it stays this way. So that's a positive. But I'm enjoying it. I feel like I'm playing pretty good. I feel like I'm throwing the rock really well. So as long as we get the broom in the right spot, I feel like I can make any shot. And that's how I felt all week, to be honest, with the exception of the game or two after the texturing of the rocks. It doesn't suit me. So once that goes away, we perform better, and it looks like we're on the other side of that now.
Can you speak to the 8th and 9th, that tough blank, and then obviously the deuce you scored, and how big that was?
Yeah, 8th end was a really bad end. We didn't make anything in that end until my last one, and fortunately Brad left that. He could have came in the rings and really forced us to take one and get the hammer back, but he played for the steal, and to be honest, I probably would have done the same thing. And then we executed and made the run back, but not only that, got the blank as well to keep the hammer. So that was a big one. And then I think, we got a mistake from Ben, which we don't get often when we play Ben. He came a little deep on the first and allowed us to stack a second one in there. And, after the lead stones, we had all the angles. And I knew it was going to be a tough blank for us unless they forced the issue, and likely going to have a shot for a 2 or 3 there, and ended up having an open hit. So, it was just a matter, I thought, in that end, Jeff executed a little bit better than Ben and put the advantage in our side.
And did that crowd make it feel like a Sunday night almost, like the energy?
Yeah, it does. It's better than any energy that we play anywhere, to be honest. Like, this crowd is amazing. I've played in a lot of Brier finals, but yeah, Thursday afternoon in St. John's is better than a lot of Brier finals. It's a really great energy, and also to see the way that they acknowledge all the other teams. I think that's super cool. Like, people are taking time away from work, a lot of time away from their family, and it's a grind to do this all week. So to see, Saskatchewan and none of it, and those teams walk off and get acknowledged, I think that's super cool and well-deserved.
Do you think the Pool B teams are in for a little bit of an adjustment when they come into a loud building and a warm building, quite frankly?
I hope it's a huge adjustment, and I hope they don't adjust at all. It's going to be different for them. Like, we popped by for a couple draws. It's a different atmosphere, so it's going to be an adjustment. But I imagine all those guys are competitors, and they're going to love it and get excited about it. The only adjustment they may have is kind of, if there's 2 games going on, they may have to get some hand signals if they're not playing our game. But I think they'll adapt pretty well. I don't expect them, especially with the looks like who's going to come out. Those guys are experienced. They're not going to have any problem.
Brad, congrats on the win.
Oh, hey, Brad.
Hi. You've known that this was coming for over a year, and you've talked about it. I know the work's not done, but can you now describe, now that you've been in it for over a week, and is there anything that maybe has caught you off guard in this entire experience that maybe you didn't expect to see or feel?
Well, I think what surprised me a little bit is how good I felt. I was really nervous about being having a lot of emotion, having a lot of nerves, having a lot of stress and anxiety. That's all there, don't get me wrong. But it's less than what I thought it was going to be. And I have really enjoyed this. Like, there's been some special moments throughout this week that I've thoroughly enjoyed. Like, my daughter's getting honored, which I think was so cool. So I've had a lot more fun this week than I expected. I thought it was going to be head down, grind, get through it. But I've had a lot of fun. And I think we've got a really good setup with our team this week where, we get away from the craziness, especially in this venue, being attached to the hotel. Like, we've been able to separate ourselves from that, and I think that's been a very smart decision for us. And just enjoying it. I think that's the biggest surprise. That's going to sound terrible, but it's the reality. I think we're just having a lot more fun than